It was a charge that had dogged the suffrage movement for decades, not least because it rang true.
I don't think that many people realize that Susan B. Anthony was a leader in the temperance movement. The temperance movement was all about men's behavior, by the way. It wasn't not just alcohol. It was the abuse of alcohol and the beating of women by drunken men. And they would also spend an inordinate amount of money on it, and on payday, they go to the bars, and what would be left for the wife and the kids? So there was a whole movement to restrict alcohol.
Perhaps nowhere was the link between temperance and women's suffrage more established than in Ohio, the birthplace of the Women's Christian Temperance Union. The largest women's organization in the country, the WCTU had led the crusade to ban alcohol since the late 19th century and endorsed votes for women as a weapon for home protection.
This activated the liquor lobby. These are the distilleries, the breweries, farmers who grow crops for alcohol, alcoholic products, cask makers. It's huge. So whenever a vote came up in a state for suffrage, the liquor lobby poured money in to defeat it.
They would do things like a bar would have a sign up on election day and say, vote against the women's suffrage amendment, you get a free beer. They don't want national prohibition. And if women have some political power, that might happen.
Aware that the association with temperance had become a liability, Harriet Taylor Upton had done her best to create some distance. Let me explain that the Suffrage Association is not a temperance organization, she'd insisted in an official statement that summer. But in a state where brewing was a major industry, such reassurances struck many voters as too little, too late. On September 3, 1912, Ohio Amendment No. 23 lost, with nearly 58% of the electorate voting against it. 2 days later, the woman's suffrage referendum in Wisconsin failed in precisely the same manner, as did the one in Michigan in November.
As women link suffrage rights to social reform, whether it means for women who are working in the garment industry or the temperance movement to ban alcohol, major economic interests who are tied to industries that are profiting from this begin to oppose women's suffrage.
There's money involved, there's power involved, and women are threatening them. And a lot of people really didn't want things to change.